Okay, so hey guys, so today's video is going to be my May favorites. I almost forgot that I had to record this video this month, and I realized that it was May 31st today, and what actually reminded me to record it was seeing Kathleen Light's post her favorites video this morning at like 9:30 in the morning. I haven't really been sleeping very well because I've been having a toothache, but I had to actually go get a surgery today on my tooth, and I had to get a root canal because the root is pretty much decaying. I know that's like TMI, but I feel like, you guys know I just say whatever the heck I want on this channel. So I'm just going to dive right into it. I feel like every time favorites videos roll around, I always feel like there's so many more videos I can post. I just have so many ideas still. I have a ton of review videos coming, hopefully, because I just reviewed the Visor palette. I picked up some newer palettes. I picked up a palette online. I picked up some glitters. I picked up some highlighters and also some, another highlighter. I've been picking up a lot of highlighters lately, but I'm hopefully doing a huge online makeup haul at some point, but I still wanted to share some of my thoughts about the products, not everything. So we're just going to jump right in. I'm not really sure when that haul will be coming because I have to take care of stuff for school first, so I might be running out of unemployment, but if I take care of everything this week, I should be okay, but I have to like file for another thing next week. So let's just dive right in. We're gonna start with eyeshadows. We're just gonna start with eyeshadows because they're definitely the most exciting products that I want to talk about because I discovered a lot of new eyeshadows this past month. So the first eyeshadows that I want to talk about are the Stila Magnificent Metal Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadows, and I got 3 different new shades online. And these are the colors that I got, but I want to just share my thoughts really quickly. I'm just going to go through them relatively quickly so I don't like spoil it for you. So these 2 are the original ones in the original line. This one is Bronzed Belle, and this one is a Stila exclusive on Stila.com, and I think it's only Stila.com. I feel like there's also somewhere else that sells it. I think it's Ulta. No, it's Ballet Baby there, and then Sephora has like a Violet Vixen one, I think. I think this one's only exclusive on Ulta.com. I mean, Stila.com. And then this one is called Smoldering Satin. If I like screw up my words, I'm sorry. I haven't been getting that much sleep lately because I've been in pain, so bear with me. I'm hopefully going to get good sleep tonight because it's finally went away because, they did the operation today. So this one is Smoldering Satin, and this one is available everywhere, and then this one is Sunset Cove, and this is one of the newer dual chrome shades. Now these 2 shades I have worn I think I've worn Smoldering Satin twice, and I've worn Bronze Belle once. I'm planning on wearing Bronze Belle tomorrow night, but I wore Smoldering Satin to an event, but I had to take it off, and then I wore it again to a wedding on Sunday night because I went to my cousin's wedding this past weekend in Philly with my mom and my boyfriend and my sister and her boyfriend and my brother, and I wore this. Oh my god, this is so freaking gorgeous. I think these 2 glitters are my new favorites. I mean, I love Rose Gold Retro and Kitten Karma, but these have like a beautiful dual chrome effect to them. I'm also going to swatch Bronzed Belle. I'm just going to swatch all 3 of them and just cover them really quickly. They feel so nice when you swatch them too. They have like a cooling sensation. And then this one is Sunset Cove. Now, I'm going to share my thoughts on all 3 of them. So, the first one is Smoldering Satin. The second one is Bronze Belle, and this one is Sunset Cove. These are so beautifully pigmented. They are so gorgeous, and I think I've actually finally gotten my method down with these where I can actually apply these a little bit better and not have like a ton of glitter fall out. So these are so like pigmented as soon as you put them on your lid. They are one swipe pigment. They are gorgeous. Now with Sunset, they're like just as good as the original ones that I have, like Kitten Karma and Rose Gold Retro. But Sunset Cove Now, I tried this on my eyes like twice by itself. Like, first, I was just testing out all of them to see how opaque they were, and then I wore all of them out at least once. And when I wore this one out, I realized that I have to wear a base with it. If you wear a base with this, it is so beautiful, but it does skip on the applicator. It does not, this one does not apply as like one swipe pigment as these do. And I think that's why everybody, fell in love with these in the first place, because these are so opaque and they take like no work to put on your eyes. But this one, you need to wear with a base. And once you wear it with a base, it's so beautiful. I wore it over ColourPop's Eye Candy because I feel like ColourPop eyeshadows are a really good base for these because they don't, budge and they don't go anywhere. What is going on with my lips? All right, let's fix that. But yeah, this looks beautiful. Swatch. This is actually like the best swatch I've done of this. But if you can see the difference, if you can see that little part is where my actual skin is, that's how you know that it's not as opaque. As you can see, it's not like one swipe pigment, and I find it a little bit more gunky than the other two, but these two are so easy to apply. So I'm going to keep on testing them out, but I will definitely share them in my haul with you, but I couldn't wait to share my thoughts on these products, and I might as well update you guys on these products anyway. So now, let's just jump into a newer palette to me as well. I have also been testing out this month, and this is like the first thing that I picked up for my online makeup haul, and this is the Juvia's Place Masquerade Mini Palettes. Now, I have been intrigued on... There's something on my lip, and it's driving me crazy. I have been intrigued on trying Juvia's Place for the longest time. I first wasn't buying into the trend of Juvia's Place. I was like, whatever. They're all over YouTube, and I feel like everybody just pushes them, and I don't think they're as good as everybody says. But then I was really convinced to try them after Stephanie Nicole, which I know Stephanie Nicole did her review like 8 months ago. But I've always been interested in trying them after I saw her review. So I've been skeptical about the brand for a while because I have been hearing, so many bad things about their shipping and stuff like that, but not as bad as like Kylie Cosmetics or like Too Faced lately. Like Too Faced is like untouchable online, like their customer service sucks ass. But anyway, this is not about Too Faced. That's a whole nother video, which I'm hoping to get up at some point about like, brands that I don't support anymore and stuff like that. So I was trying to debate on which palette that I wanted to buy. This is the one I ended up settling on because it has a great range of colors and neutrals in this palette, because Juvia's Place doesn't really do neutrals in their other palettes besides like their first one. So first off, the packaging is adorable because it's hot pink. And then I'm just going to go over it really quickly. I am intending on doing a full review on this palette, and also I am going to be sharing it in my favorites video. Now, since I've tried out this palette at least 4 times, I have tried out the majority of the shades. I think I've pretty much used every single shade in this palette in some form or another. Yeah, pretty much every single shade. I haven't used all of them on my lid yet, though, and I know that's going to be the true test for the shimmery shades. But what I've found is that the colorful shades are gorgeous. This green was the first one that I threw on my lid as soon as I got the palette because I used it right after I got it in the mail. So gorgeous on the lid. It was so beautiful. And then I used like most of these colors in the first look that I did with this palette. They all blended so beautifully together. The colorful shades are really beautiful. But the purple shades, these shadows have a ton of fallout. So just be warned that you have to do your eye makeup first before you put your foundation on. I would highly suggest that because you can get fallout all on your eyes. And I'm like, it's going to stain it green and blue. Yes, sometimes I like don't give a fuck. And sometimes I'm just like, whatever, I can deal. But honestly, crazy amount of fallout. Especially the purple shades because these are the ones that I use a lot on my outer corners. But I find since they're so fallout prone worthy that they kind of just fall and they kind of crumble when you're trying to blend it. So I kind of always have to go in with like this shade here to deepen it up more. That's all I'm going to say for now, but these shades are gorgeous. Like this green and this blue. Like, gorgeous. They remind me of Makeup Geek's like Fantasy and Pegasus, but they don't really transfer as much. And that's good. So that's definitely a bonus. With the rest of the shades, the mattes are a little dry and they're kind of hard to work with. I'm going to keep on playing with it because like I've said, I've only tried it about 4 times. So I can't develop my full opinion yet until I've really tried it out. So I haven't worn it in like a week or so. But I did do like a full look with like these colors here at least twice. And then I've used the colorful shades at least twice. So I pretty much can develop a decision about it. I would say that these shimmery shades are phenomenal. These two are gorgeous, especially on the inner corners. I've been using this Giza shade every time on the inner corners when I use this palette. It is so stunning. Like, those 2 shades are stunning. And this palette's so inexpensive that it's like, you kind of expect it not to be like through the roof quality, but it's still really good. But the mattes, I do find that they're hard to blend and they're dry. Like when you dip your finger in, they're not very buttery, not as buttery as the shimmery shadows, and these aren't even that buttery to begin with. So they are a drier formula. So just be aware of that. And when I tried this Calabar shade on my lid, it was very hard to get it to stick to my lid, but I also did try it on the middle of my lid as like a pop of color on that part to try and do like 3 colors on my lid, and it didn't really work. But then I tried it like after I took my makeup off, and I kind of just played with the colors to see which ones were more pigmented than the others on the lid, because I like doing that before I use the palette more just to get an idea of how they're going to perform. And it was really beautiful, so I probably just have to try it out by itself. So I'm going to keep on testing it out. I'm not going to spoil it completely for you, but I am intending on doing a full review on this palette. When I haul it, I'm not going to be as thorough about it, but I just really wanted to cover it in this video for you. But so far, I am really liking it. The colors are gorgeous. The colorful shades are gorgeous. The only thing that I regret is that I wish I would have waited until the Magic palette came out, because that palette looks so gorgeous. But I'm not going to go and get another palette because I have so many palettes now that I've just been trying to use. Like, it's insane. So now let's just talk about the last newer palette that I picked up during the Sephora Vibe sale. And I shared you guys my thoughts. I shared with you my thoughts on this palette last month, so I wanted to cover it again this month. This is the Vizart Warm Neutral Matte Palette. I'm going to take it out of the packaging because that stuff stinks. But this is what it looks like. And I did tell you guys that I did do a full review on this palette. And that was like 2 weeks ago. But I've actually been able to play with it at least, I think, 2 more times since that video. And I think I honestly have to say that I really love this palette now. And I'm surprised it's even coming out of my mouth, because before that, I was really debating on returning this palette. I was like, I don't need it. I have so many eyeshadows in my collection that are dupes for these. But honestly, you guys, this is so beautiful. The eyeshadows blend so gorgeously. And what I notice is that, like I've said before, and what I said is like a plus about these, is that they leave like this beautiful satin finish on your eyes. And they're just like different than other eyeshadows. I'm not wearing them today. I'm wearing all ColourPop eyeshadows today. But I did use this for my cousin's wedding a couple of days ago, and I used that Stila glitter on my lid, and that was the last time I wore eyeshadow until today. Like, I wasn't even going to plan on wearing eyeshadow today, but then I was like, no, I want to record my favorites video tonight, so I still threw it on anyway and like kept it on the whole day. Because I did run a few errands, so I just ended up not going to the gym. So usually if I want to run a few errands, I still want to put eyeshadow on. So, and at least wear like, some natural makeup. Like I wasn't just gonna put on makeup just to go to a root canal specialist. I like probably would have just worn mascara and that's about it because I would have not made the effort. And honestly, I was almost not gonna make the effort today because my tooth hurts so much. But I was like, I need to wear some makeup today because I haven't worn eye makeup in like 2 days. But this was so beautiful to work with when I was in the hotel room because I was using like this microscopic mirror and they just were so easy to blend and they're just so beautiful. I feel like I've kind of changed my opinion on it and I feel like they're so easy to use now. I am in love with this palette, like really love this palette now. So I'm gonna keep on using it for you guys, but I've used it at least like 5 or 6 times, probably more this month. And I get really excited to use it now. Before I was just like, whatever. I'm just gonna use it to use it. And now I really think that these eyeshadows perform really beautifully. So I'm not gonna swatch them again. Just know that I think that they are worth the money. I did kind of have an oopsie with this eyeshadow because I dropped it a couple times because I kept on keeping it on the end of my palettes. And every time I tried to grab for another palette underneath these, or if I was trying to grab one on top next to this, it was falling on my floor and this one kind of shattered a little bit. But this is a very durable palette that it wasn't just going to shatter completely. This is one of my favorite colors though. I just feel like that I wouldn't say it's worth $75 or 80 bucks, whatever it is, but I do think it's a really beautiful formula and I do think it's worth trying. So if you don't want to invest the money in this one, you can always get the smaller ones that are like $6. So that's what I was going to do originally, but then I was like, how many bronze lid shades do I need? I have like a million. So that's why I thought this one was perfect for me. So I'm going to keep on using it, but so far I do think it is a beautiful palette. Okay. Now, let's jump into some older palettes that I've been using and grabbing for this month. The first one is the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. I know you guys are probably so sick of hearing. I really cannot talk because I'm so tired. You guys are probably really sick of hearing about Too Faced Sweet Peach, but I have to mention it again because this is the last eyeshadow palette that I have picked up from Too Faced. And that was in August of last year. That's how long I have not gotten a Too Faced eyeshadow palette. That's like unheard of for me. It's May. There just hasn't been anything that has been intriguing me or exciting me about their palettes. The only one I was interested in was the holiday one, but that was when I didn't have any money. And then after that, they were just coming out with stuff that I just didn't really want to try. I just really wasn't that interested. The only things I was interested in trying in was the peach blush and the peach glosses. But I do have to say that I do whip this out during the hotter months, especially during the spring. And I've used this a couple of times this month, and I have to say I still really love this palette. And I don't want to say that about Too Faced products anymore, but at the same time, this was before they were like a shitty ass brand, like I really think that they're treating people like shit now, and it really sucks because they were my favorite brands, but we're not going to get into it. They're just beautiful eyeshadows. Like Luscious is still, you would think I would get tired of this eyeshadow. It's still my favorite eyeshadow in this palette. It's one of my favorite lid shades ever. It's just stunning. Like it's so beautiful. Like, why is it that Too Faced doesn't do, like, all of their eyeshadows like this? Like, this one takes me back to, like, the Too Faced Chocolate Bar Shimmery shadows. Like, those are, like, some of the best shimmery shades I've ever used. They're amazing. And then I just did my standard, typical go-to looks with this past month. I actually used this Candied Peach shade in the crease. It was so pretty. Like, it's not too orange, so it's not, like, crazy. It's, like, a medium-toned peach color that it just looks so pretty in your crease. It's not, like, too orangey, if you know what I mean. It's just really pretty. Some people love this palette, and some people really hate this palette, but I'm just one of those people that really loves it. I think that the eyeshadows perform really nicely. And even though people keep on saying that, Too Faced does too many browns in their palettes, I feel like that's a good thing because it's like, what else do you grab for every single day if you work? Browns, right? Don't you always grab for a matte brown and then you want a pop of color? This is a really nice work palette too. You can use all of these shades here. You have so many options for everyday looks. But then you also have like these really pretty warmer shades like this just peachy shade I gotta use again at some point. I didn't get to use it this month. I used Bellini and Luscious when I used this palette, but it's so beautiful. Like, it's such a pretty pink. Like, I really gotta use this shade. Really gorgeous. Like, they're just really soft, pretty shades. And I really want to do a look with really focusing on this color, Bless Her Heart. I still have not used this eyeshadow, and I've had this palette for forever. I think I've used every other shade, except for probably that one and that one. I think I've even used Talk Derby to Me. So, not going to rave about it any longer. And also, when I use this palette, I don't find I have to grab for any other palette. And that's when I know something is a good palette. Like the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. I don't have to grab for another palette. But I even have a transition shade in here. Peaches and Cream. This is like such a great transition shade. And I know that I can always count on it to be a really beautiful transition shade. So that's how I know, like, that they actually did think this through pretty nicely. I know there's a lot of browns mixed with peach colors and like, oh, there's not too much peach. Maybe if it wasn't called the peach palette, maybe it would, like, not annoy me as much if there was, like, hopefully more peach shades in there. But there's not. But I feel like it was a smartly thought out palette, unlike their newer palettes. Like the honey one, it's like, that's just like a waste of time. No. And the Natural Love one, no. Because I have the Natural Eyes palette. What do I need a huge ass natural palette? And then, of course, again, I know I mention these every month, but it's literally like, if I didn't mention these to you guys every month, I would be lying. So I had to give a shout out again to my ColourPop shadows because I freaking love these shadows. I was thinking about pulling out my Makeup Geek shadows again. I mean, I have used them a lot this month. Like, I actually dove into all these palettes this past month. Like, can you believe that? Like, I made it my business to start using more of my palettes again than just single shadows. But I did use these today, and they're just my go-tos. I can't get enough of them. They are so good. And I did a whole look with just using them today, and it still looks so pretty. Like, look at the lower lash line. Like, come on. Like, even, like, they might not be looking as pigmented as they were when I first put them on. They're still, like, look beautiful because the lower lash line looks gorgeous. But they're just so pretty. Like, I don't even have to mention my favorite shades because you guys already know. Say I do. Firefly is, like, my all-time favorite transition shade now. I can't put it down. Locked and Loaded, Hear Me Out. This whole row. I love all of them. They are all so good. Like, I can't really say that about Makeup Geek shadows sometimes. These are all amazing. The lid shades are gorgeous. They always look so pretty. And then the mattes really do blend really beautifully. And then the brow bone shades are just gorgeous. You know, I wear Note to Self and Wake Up Call constantly every time I do my makeup with these because they're such beautiful crease shades, and Note to Self is giving like Creme Brulee a run for its money. I'm just saying, like, these are beautiful. So, and let me explain, I also wore Liar Liar a lot in the inner corners this month. Gorgeous. And I also always wear Let Me Explain in the inner corners a lot. I'm wearing Let Me Explain and Just in Time mixed together on my inner corners today. They're just so beautifully pigmented. Like, I know that these are going to look good every time I use them. Like, there were at least a couple looks that I did this month with the Lorac palette, and I forget which other palette, with the Stila palette, I'm pretty sure. And the Stila palette I really like, which I'm about to get into because I'm going to talk about it really soon. But when I use the Lorac palette, I don't know if I like that palette, honestly. I wish I wouldn't have bought it because I had to go in with some of these shades to make it a little bit warmer and also to make it blend a little bit better. It's like I know that these are going to work every single time, and I've tested these out enough that I know that I freaking love them. So I can't not stress how beautiful they are. Like, I honestly like these more than Makeup Geek shadows. I love my Makeup Geek shadows, but these don't transfer as much as the Makeup Geek shadows do, and the mattes are just as good as the Makeup Geek ones. So, oh, they're so good. And then the last eyeshadow palette I wanted to mention was the Stila Eyes Are the Window Soul palette, because I did get to use this a couple of times this month, and I actually really like this palette. The more and more I use it, and the more and more I actually remember to whip it out and use it, the more and more I like it. It's just a really good, solid palette. I gotta use this shade at some point. This one's gorgeous. I instantly gravitated towards that one. I gotta use that shade. That's really pretty. It's the one on the bottom right here. Really gorgeous. But I did use this a lot because I was using it in conjunction with the glitters. Because I used a lot of Stila products this past month. I got to use Fiery and Fiore, the Sale Day liquid lipsticks, because I wore Fiery to the wedding, and I wore Fiore to the event that we went to that I had to take my makeup off. And my makeup looked so good that night. Like, I really have been doing my makeup so good for events lately. And then I had to take it off. I was so pissed. I looked so cute that night. I like don't say that much about myself. So I've been going hard with this shade right here, and that one is called Individual. It just looks like I've been going hard in the pan. But you guys know I have not had this one of this version, you know, the newer packaged one, for a while. I've only had this for like a few months, and it already looks like I put more of a dent in this palette than I did the older one. But I really did use it a couple times this month, and they're all really pretty. Like these two, well, obviously Kitten. I mean, come on, it's a no-brainer for Kitten. But Vitality, I use that one a lot on the inner corners. But the mattes are really pretty too. Like, I always go for these two when I use this palette. Sometimes it doesn't really have all the mattes in here that I need. So sometimes I do go in with a couple of the ColourPop ones. But I always use this one to darken up the crease more, and it always looks so pretty. So it is a really nice crease shade. Why does it like feel like I'm like hitting pan already? Like, I really have not used this that much. But see, it's really nice and pigmented. And let's just swatch. I can't resist swatching Kitten. You know, it's just so beautiful. That one right there. Wow, that Juvia's Place one is a little bit close, but it's definitely lighter in person. It's a little bit more white than Stila's Kitten. So now we're finally done with eyeshadows. Let's move on. I think we're going to talk about highlighters next because I'm just too excited to talk about highlighters. So that's what we're going to talk about. So I have 3 palettes to share with you guys, and I also have an individual highlighter. Let's talk about these first. So I did order these Makeup Geek highlighters on Mother's Day because they were doing a Mother's Day sale on Makeup Geek where it was 20% off highlighters, blushes, and contour powders. So I wanted to talk about this one first because this one I really have been loving a lot. This one is the Makeup Geek Duochrome Highlighter in the shade Electrify. And this one is the one I'm wearing on my cheeks today. And this is probably the only second time I've worn it, but I already know I'm freaking in love with it. And look at how big the pan size is. I really didn't expect it to be this big when I got it, and it comes with a mirror. So I'm like, okay, Makeup Geek, you're justifying the $20 price tag, but I got these for $16 because of the sale. So, but this is what the shade looks like, and you're probably not going to really be able to see it. It's really white because, like I've told you guys, I replaced my lamp, so it's going to be really hard for you to see it. But I'm going to swatch it for you. It's this really beautiful, like, lemony duochrome shade. Really, really pretty. Okay, you can't see anything. Let's wipe some of these swatches off so I can actually swatch this for you. That's the shade right there. Oh my god, you really can't see it. Okay, right there. Let's go over here. There we go. We got a winner. Do you see that like really beautiful green yellow reflection? It kind of reminds me of Karma, the duochrome shade eyeshadow in a highlighter form. It's really beautiful. I really have been loving this one. This one is so pigmented. It's like one swipe pigment and it just glides on. Like that's what I love about Makeup Geek's formula. And then the other one I got was Lit. And this one was the one I knew I was going to get. This one's been on my list like forever. And I've been using it. It's not as pigmented as this one, but at the same time, I haven't given this a shot over foundation yet because I haven't worn it over foundation yet. I've only been wearing it over concealer because I've been using it a lot for no makeup looks. Like I've been using this as my highlight just to test it out. And it's pretty, but I don't know if I'm like in love with this one. Now, let me see if I can show it to you. See right there. This one, honestly, when I first got them, I was like, oh my God, these look so similar. I'm like, how am I going to tell the difference? Like, these look identical, if you could see. Like, don't you see how they look the same? But then when I swatched them, I was like, okay, thank God that they're different. So let's give this one a good swatch too. And this one's really pretty too, but it kind of reminds me of like one of the shades in the Aurora, not the Aurora, the Moonchild Glow Kit. It has like that pinky green duochromeness to it. And this one's really pretty. Look how pretty it is swatched. Like they're gorgeous, but I don't feel like this one performs as well as this one. I feel like this one is a little bit more patchy, but I feel like I do have to test it out over foundation in order for me to give you guys like a full decision. Okay, then the next one I just got as well. I know this is like basically like a haul video, but I might as well share my thoughts now. This is the last new item I'm going to talk to you guys about. I got the Anastasia Aurora Glow Kit, and I've been trying this out the past week or two. And obviously, you guys know I had to pick up this palette. I mean, it's so unique. And you guys know how much I love Anastasia highlighters, and I knew I wanted to get this. I was like, oh my God, I need it just for that blue shade because it's so beautiful. Okay, so I've literally tried out every single shade already because I've been making it my business just to try out the new highlighters that I have. And it took me a while to actually try it out again, but these are really beautiful. The only one I'm actually not that crazy about is the blue one. But the rest of them are gorgeous. They're so pretty. Eclipse and Lyra. Look at this Lyra shade. It's like an orange-green duochrome. It's freaking gorgeous. Now let's see if I can swatch it here. Look how pretty. If you could see how pretty they are. Look how pretty! They have like this really beautiful duochrome. Whoa, Caitlin, you need sleep. They have this really beautiful duochrome effect in person. Oh my god. They have like a peachy pink tone. So pretty. And let's just watch the blue. The blue. When you swatch the blue one, it's not as pigmented. Oh, but it's still really pretty. That one is the blue one up here. Oh my god, this light drives me nuts. Okay. Oh my god. Hopefully you can see that, you guys. But it's picking up a lot more blue in person. There we go. Right there. Right there. It's like an ice blue. And then the purple and the green, like, really gorgeous. That's the green one. Let me just swatch it better. This one right here. This is going to be a long-ass favorites video. But I don't even have that many more products in front of me. And then I talk, like, for 10 million years. So, yeah, I'm going to keep on trying it out. Right now, I'm really digging it. It's beautiful. So that one is that. If I could put it away like a normal person. Okay. And then, of course, the last glow kit I have to share with you guys. I know I've talked about this like 3 times already, but I really cannot stop with this palette. It is so freaking amazing. This is the Anastasia Nicole Guerrero glow kit. I just feel like this is the best glow kit I've ever tried. These might be even my favorite highlighters of all time. They are so intense and they're so beautiful. Like, I really need to use these more. Like the gold ones, because I constantly use Kitty Cat because it's literally like my favorite pink highlighter of all time. But they're just so gorgeous. Like, I used Daydream more this past month. Oh my god, it's amazing. It's such a beautiful like tangerine orange shade. It's different than Champagne Pop. I swatched it next to Champagne Pop like a week or so ago. It's definitely more orangey. Champagne Pop is more of like a champagne gold with like a little bit of peachiness to it. This is more orangey. And it's so freaking amazing. Like, it's just like these are so intense. You barely need any product when you use them. And I don't know why so many people hate on this palette. I think it's amazing. Like, oh my god. Okay. See that? Gorgeous. And then we're just going to swatch Glow Getter because, whoo, child. Child, please. I know I'm so white and I'm saying, child, look at that. Beautiful. I don't understand how people don't like this palette. I'm like, what? A lot of people really do love this palette and a lot of people hate it. I'm just like, obviously you guys don't know how to get that intense glow then if you're gonna be like, oh, I don't like it. Like, what is, I don't understand. Like, how do you look at that glow? Could you ask for anything more blinding? I should have worn it today, but I really wanted to wear the Makeup Geek one. But again, I cannot stress how much I love this palette. It's probably my favorite collaboration too. Like, I am so glad I picked this one up. Regardless if she supports Jeffree Star or not, she is a really great YouTuber. I do really like her a lot. And I think that she deserves this 100%, and she did an amazing job on it. It's freaking beautiful. And then the last highlighting palette I wanted to talk about was the Tarte Reinforced of the Sea Volume 2 palette. I'm pretty sure I talked about it in my last favorites video, but I wanted to mention it again because I still really love these highlighters. Tarte has a way of really improving their formula. I feel like that this was kind of very similar to like their eyeshadow formula, but like in a highlighter form, obviously. And they're so buttery, and these apply really beautifully as well. They apply very butterly to the face, and I can't really say that about any other highlighters that I own. They feel so soft when you put them on, and they blend out really beautifully. So this one is, if I could tell you guys which one's which. This one is Skylight, and this one is Daylight. So that's those two. Look how pretty. They have this really beautiful like pearly effect to them. Do you see how they're like smoother than the Anastasia? Like, look how intense the Anastasia ones are though. And you see that that's still intense, but it's more of like a softer intensity. They're so freaking pretty. I gotta wear this again really soon because I have been wearing it quite a bit this past month, and it's just so pretty. So I love this palette so much. But I knew from like the swatches in the store that I was gonna love this palette. But this was a huge improvement from the first one. I do love the first one as well, but the fact that I only used 2 out of the 3 shades kind of annoys me. I wish that all 3 of them would have just been highlighters, then I would have been more happy with it. But I don't use like really the last shade in this palette because it's a little bit too dark for me. So I guess I only get to use 3 of them, but I feel like this is 100% worth it because it's so beautiful. So speaking of the Tarte Reinforced of the Sea line, let's just go over these 2 bad boys really quick. I feel like I'm running out of this. Like, this literally feels really light. This is the Tarte Reinforced of the Sea Water Foundation. You guys know I love this foundation, but it's just been one of my go-tos lately. Let me see. I mean, there's still a product in here, but the only thing I don't love about this is the packaging, because I feel like you can't dispense enough product. But I think from what I see in here, that this is where it is, and it's kind of curving there. But this is how much product is actually left in there. I hate when I use up a foundation. It's like, why? Why you have to get used up? Like, it's... But this is not, like, a super expensive foundation. And so far, this foundation, and this is the Tarte Reinforced of the Sea. I already said that, right? And I'm in the shade Fair Neutral. This one and the Too Faced Born This Way are probably the only 2 that I would reconsider repurchasing after I use, like, all of my other ones up. And I also really love the Maybelline Dewy and Smooth and the L'Oreal Infallible. The L'Oreal Magic Lumi I love, but I could do without that one the next time I purchase it. And of course, that one was like the cheapest. But this is so beautiful. It just has such a beautiful coverage. I can't explain it. It covers everything like a BB cream, but it has a beautiful coverage like a foundation. And it's just so comfortable and it lasts so long. I was going to wear it today. I was trying to put on foundation today because I hadn't worn foundation in like 2 days. Because I've just been wearing my no makeup looks because yesterday my boyfriend didn't want to come over and I had to go to the dentist last night. And then I went to the root canal specialist tonight, and then on Monday, he was here till about 3 o'clock because we came back from Philly, and then the rest of the night we chilled here because we were all exhausted from Philly. So I didn't wear foundation in the car, obviously, but when I have been wearing foundation, I've been grabbing for this, which I love. You guys already know I love it, and I've been grabbing for this other one that I'm going to talk about in just a second, but I just wanted to cover the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Aqua Sealer Concealer. This is the only concealer I'm mentioning because this is the one I freaking am in love with. I actually ended up returning the Smashbox one because the Smashbox 2-in-1 waterproof concealer, whatever the freak it's called, because I really wasn't in love with it. I really just wasn't loving it. So, but this one I just haven't been able to put down, and I feel like I've used like a ton of it already. But I feel like this is just like the foundation, and like I said, excuse me, like I said, this is what I was hoping that the Born This Way concealer was going to be like, in conjunction with the Born This Way foundation. I'm so out of it. I'm so tired. Because I really am looking forward to getting a good night's sleep tonight, you guys, because I really haven't gotten good sleep in like 4 days because the pain has been like unbearable. But with this, I feel like it is so beautiful in conjunction with the foundation, and it just looks so hydrating and so beautiful under the eyes that I've just been using it nonstop, and I used this a ton this past month, and I just can't put it down. So I didn't use it today. I just used the Maybelline, but my go-tos are like my 2 Maybelline concealers, that one, and the Urban Decay. Those are like my go-to concealers, and the MAC. But I really do need to find another concealer very soon. And then the other 2 foundation products, the first one, of course, I have to mention is the, why is the packaging all off? The Dior Skin Forever Perfect Makeup Everlasting Wear Pore Refining Effect with Sunscreen, Broad Spectrum SPF Shine Control SPF 15 from Dior. You guys know I raved about this last month, and I'm going to rave about it again. The only thing that I have to say about this foundation is it does dry very fast. So you have to work with it in sections, or it's going to dry and it's going to look hella patchy where it dries. So I don't know how Jaclyn Hill wears it and like doesn't have it dry on her, because every time I see her wear it, I'm like, girl, how do you like blend it out so fast that it doesn't dry on your skin? But this is really beautiful. Of course, everybody is texting me when I'm trying to film a favorites video. Okay, sorry, my boyfriend sent me a video. So, yeah, this was the only foundation that I brought with me to Philadelphia for the wedding. It looked beautiful all night. When I came back to my room, I was like, hell, oh my gosh. Like, I was going to say, like, hell yeah. I was going to be like, oh my god, like, it looks so good. So, I'm also hopped up on a lot of painkillers, so again, I'm a little bit loopy right now. Like, I'm so carefree right now. I'm like, oh, whatever, I'll worry about money tomorrow, you know? But I am still stressed out about it, but I'm, like, more calm because I'm on painkillers. So, and I had, like, a ton of Novocaine today, so, oh my god. So, and I feel like I'm, like, losing my train of thought, like, every 5 seconds. But I think I said last month that I wasn't, like, completely in love with this, but now I freaking love it. Like, since I've tested it out so much more, love it. I just, like, spit. Darn it. So yeah, been loving that. This one's definitely a lot more full coverage, but it's so beautiful. Like, it has such a beautiful full coverage. Like, it basically looks like what I'm wearing right now, and all I'm wearing is concealer today, like all over my face, because I just couldn't take wearing foundation. And then the last foundation-y product I need to mention is the Naked Skin Urban Decay One and Done Hyper Complexion Perfector. I wear this all the time for lighter makeup days in the spring and summer, and this has been my go-to lately. I've been wearing it nonstop this past month, and as you can see, I use this very heavily, and I love it. So I don't really have to really get into that. So I think we're just going to jump into lips really quickly, and then we have like blush, and that's about it. So the first ones I wanted to mention really quick is that I found that I was grabbing for these a lot this past month. I feel like I've been rotating my lipsticks a lot easier this past month, and also I have not picked up any new makeup products, really, new lipstick products since the Vibe sale, so these are the ones I've been using, and I really enjoyed using the Too Faced Chocolate Melted Lipsticks again. These are the Melted Chocolate Liquefied Longwear Lipsticks. And this one is in the shade Chocolate Milkshake, and this one is in the shade Chocolate Honey. I actually wore Milkshake a couple of times this month. They're so pretty on, and this is such a beautiful formula, and I feel like it's kind of underrated. Like, I know people like this formula a lot, and people have talked about it, but I feel like people have kind of forgotten about it. I mean, you guys know I love their Melted Matte formula as well, but I kind of find that those kind of go a little funky really quickly because I've been noticing that they don't smell that good now. And I have not had them as long as these, and these still smell very nice and chocolatey. So I'm just like, why is it that these don't smell that good anymore? I mean, they didn't have like a great scent in the first place, but it wasn't like weird smelling. I don't know. It's a little weird to me. But yeah, these are gorgeous on. I wore this one to like a cocktail party, and I wore this like a couple of times just for a natural lip. And they're just really gorgeous. They're like a glossy lipstick, but they don't have a gloss. Like, they're not glossy looking. And I feel like that's very hard to do in a lipstick form. I don't know how they did this, but they're just beautiful. So that one is Milkshake and that one is Honey. They're just so beautiful. Like, they do look glossy here, but they don't really look that glossy on the lips. And then, of course, I had to mention the Tarte Color Splash lipstick in the shade Beach Babe. I did wear this quite a few times this past month. This was like my go-to nude for most of the month, especially when I was going to the gym. It is so pretty. It's such a nice formula, and it's like a really beautiful, like, nudie pink shade. If I could swatch it somewhere. Oh, it's so beautiful. I can't wait to wear it again. It's like one of my go-tos to go to the gym and stuff, and this packaging is to die for, and I just freaking love that one. It's just so, like, comfortable to wear. And then I also had to mention the Marc Jacobs Fawn Over Me Lamarck Liquid Lip Cream. I think I wore this like 2 more times after that Get Ready With Me. And this is, again, one of my go-to nudes. I kind of wished I would have worn it today, but I wore, like, another lippy that I'm going to mention in a second. I really don't have that many lippies in this video because, again, I didn't really get too many lippies this month at all. I didn't get any new lippies this month, actually. Like I said, like a million times, you have to say it a third time. So that one is Fawn Over Me. So beautiful. It's such a perfect nude shade. And then this one is the Makeup Forever Artist Liquid Matte Lipstick in the shade 103. I'm still testing this one out. I've only worn this, like, I think I've worn it just as much as the Marc Jacobs one, actually. But I do kind of prefer the Marc Jacobs one over this one, even though this one's not as mattifying as this one is. Because this one doesn't really dry matte. Like I said, this reminds me exactly of the ColourPop Ultra Satin Lip. Like, literally the same. And this one, I just feel like it's a little bit drying, but I have to test it out more. But this one I really have been loving. And then the last 2 lip products are, again, the ColourPop Aquarius Ultra Satin Lips. I really have been going hard with my Ultra Satin Lips this past month. I didn't want to mention them all again because, again, like, you guys know what my favorite shades are, but I just wanted to point out Aquarius and Aquarius 2. I, again, have been wearing these like crazy. They're like my go-tos. Aquarius is like my go-to Ultra Satin Lip if I want a nude shade, and I'm wearing it today with Fairy Floss over it from ColourPop. And Aquarius is just so beautiful. It's such a beautiful, like, warm nude shade. It's just such a perfect color. And then Aquarius 2 is a little bit more of like a mauve-y. It's like a little bit pink. It's a little bit more of like a nude pink, but not too pink, if you know what I mean. It's like a nude, like light brown color. Aquarius 2 is much more warmer. But they're both so gorgeous, and they've been like my go-tos from ColourPop again. So that's it for lips. Oh, and then my go-to lip liner, I literally can't put it down ever since I found it again in my car. This is the MAC lip pencil in the shade Strip Down. I use this so much for my nude lips. It's just so easy to use because it's a lot more pigmented. Oh, well, it's not really swatching right now because I have to sharpen it. So I've been so lazy that I haven't even sharpened it recently. Like, really, Caitlin? But it's just been my go-to because it's so pigmented and it just goes with every single liquid lipstick. And I just hadn't been able to find Subculture recently, so I was just using this. And then just a eyeliner that I really have rediscovered again. I know that I've used this eyeliner countless times and I've went through like 3 of them, but I just wanted to mention the Stila Sail Day waterproof liquid eyeliner, and this one is in the little sample size because I got this with the order with the glitters, with the Stila liquid glitters. Oh, I thought she was talking to me for a second, my mom. But I've been wearing these a lot over the glitters, and it really has worked beautifully. So I'm going to definitely continue using it over the glitters because I felt like the Kat Von D ink liner was not doing its job, and then I always had to go in with a liquid liner, and then would just transfer. But this does a really good job over those liners. Like, it's very opaque and black that you don't have to layer it like 10 million times. So just gonna stick with that. And then, of course, I had to mention my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Powder Foundation in the color 2 again. It just, again, has been my go-to powder. As you can see, I hit pan on it. I'm not sure if I hit pan on it last favorites video, but obviously you can see. I love it. I really do. And I'm going to be heartbroken when I run out of this because this is hella expensive to replace. And I know I'm going to be going hard with it in the summertime as well because I find that I'm like, oh, I want to switch to a loose powder for the winter time. And then it's like, I don't want my skin to be too dry, so this is perfect. And then for the summertime, it's like, I don't want to wear a heavy powder because I don't want it to be too drying again or keep me from me looking too matte. So I constantly just grab for this because it's just the perfect light powder and it's just gorgeous. And then I just wanted to mention the Too Faced Sweethearts Perfect Flush Blush Blushes and Bronzer. This one is Sparkling Bellini, and this is obviously the blush, and this is the bronzer, the Sweet Tea Bronzer. This is my go-to bronzer in the spring and summertime, so I've just been going hardcore with this. It's just so pretty on it. It gives like a beautiful luminous finish to your skin. And I have been using the butter bronzer a lot the past couple of days because that's my natural bronzer, like for no makeup days or when I don't want to really wear that much bronzer. But this is really beautiful for that as well if you just want like a little bit more of a bronzy look. And then Sparkling Bellini, I really have been using the past couple of weeks, and it really is a pretty blush on. Like I've said, their orange blushes are so beautiful. I don't know what they do to their orange blushes at Too Faced, but they really do a banging job. And this one is really gorgeous. Like, I feel like people really underrated this one. I literally feel like this is Candied Peach from the Sweet Peach palette in a blush. Like, it literally swatches the same. It almost looks like the same color, but this is a little bit more luminous. But this is so pretty on as well. So, and then the last one from Too Faced, I just wanted to give a shout out to Too Faced. I Will Always Love You Again. I do have to wear it a little bit more often, but I have worn it a couple of times this past month, and again, I really do love it. I might wear it tomorrow night, actually. And this is just really pretty. It has like a peach, again, like a peach glow to it. As you can see, it's a lot lighter than Sparkling Bellini. if you can see that right there. Really beautiful. And then, I'm sorry. I always feel like I have a million products to talk about, but I literally only have like 3 more things and then we're done. This is the Benefit California Box Blush. Packaging is so cute. And I have been testing out this blush more this past month. I don't absolutely love it, but I do really love the color, so I've been using it more. It has more of like it's really soft when you swatch it. And it has more of like a warmer peachy pink color to it than the other two. But as you can see, I've been really enjoying like peachy toned blushes. I'm still in that trend on where like I'm loving peachy toned blushes, even though I've been wearing a lot of nude blushes lately and that's all I've been grabbing for. Because I've been doing a lot more natural looks. I haven't been doing that many colorful looks lately. But I'm going to keep on testing it out. I'm not in love with it as much as I am the other box blushes, but we will see. And then the last item is the IT Cosmetics Ombre Radiance Blush. Ombre Radiance Blush in the shade Je ne sais quoi. Oh my god, it's so hard to talk right now. And this one I got to use once this past month. I really have to use this more often, like when I do pink looks. Because when I used it, it is so pigmented and so pretty. It blends out really nicely that I really need to start using it more. It's just like, I don't know. For some reason, I just don't reach for it. I'm just like, Caitlin, you need to use this blush because it's really beautiful. But of course, since it's not like a full-on pink color, it's kind of like a peachy pink that I'm just like, well, it's not like a pink color that I really want to use with everything that when I wear like a colorful look. But I really got to use it more. Let me just swatch it really quick. Because their blush formula is really pretty. I actually prefer this formula over the Benefit blush. And that is that one right there. It's kind of similar to California, but it's a little bit more pink. So that is the last one. And then the last product I wanted to mention is a solid shampoo from Lush. And this one is called, I believe, Lullaby. And this is the shampoo bar. Let me just pull up the details really quick and then we're going to be done. I promise. Let's see. The hair shampoo bars. As you guys know, I did switch to their shampoo bars like last year, I believe. And I used the Montebello one. This one is a different one because I ran out of that one like a few weeks ago. So I picked up this one a few weeks ago. And I've been using it ever since then. And I think I didn't say in the beginning of the video that this is the first favorites video that I'm shooting with my shorter hair. I don't think I said that before. That's what I forgot to say. Damn it. So, this one is an irritated and angry scalp is no one's friend. So we've developed this lavender shampoo bar to soothe sore, sensitive heads. Made with oat milk and almond meal. It offers an ultra-soothing and uber-softening cleanse that won't aggravate your scalp while lavender helps to relax your mind. It's the perfect shampoo for taking on the day or before hitting the sack. That's cute. I usually only shower at night and wash my hair at night. I don't remember the last time I've washed my hair during the day because my hair was such a hassle to take care of. But I actually got my haircut done at Ulta last week, and I'll tell you guys that in a minute. But I really think she did a really nice job, and now I just don't have to worry about getting a haircut in quite a while. But this is really soothing on my scalp. You guys know I have a sensitive scalp, and I suffer from dry scalp because everything on my body is dry. You know this. My skin feels dry today because I had the dental work done, so my skin's going to get dried out. And this has been really nice so far. It's really gentle, and I just love the way my hair feels every time I use it. I actually just got a new conditioner from them today. It's called, I don't remember what it's called, but I will update you guys my thoughts on it very soon. But that's it. That's my favorites. And I just wanted to say the girl that cut my hair at Ulta was actually somebody that I went to high school with. And I instantly recognized her, and I was like, this is going to be awesome. I am so happy I found someone that I can trust. And I found someone that I know I like cutting my hair other than my original barber, which I love, my hairdresser. He's a dude. And I love him to death, but honestly, his haircuts were just too overpriced. Ulta's $40. Like, come on, it's so much. It's just a no-brainer. So that's it, you guys. So please like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at CBW819, and my Twitter is PokerFace819, and my Snapchat is PokerFace819. I did wear this Lucky brand shirt today. It's like a green shirt with like gold leaves on it. It's like the first time I'm wearing it. My mom did get me some new clothes lately, so I did want to wear it today just to look semi-cute and look like a human being. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Oh, and a few show favorites. I've been watching Downton Abbey, Everybody Loves Raymond, and House of Cards now because House of Cards came out 2 days ago or yesterday on Netflix, and me and my family have gotten through like the first 4 episodes. Everybody Loves Raymond is one of my all-time favorite sitcoms now. It's amazing. It's so funny. I die every time I watch it now. I'm almost done with the 6th season, so I only have 3 more seasons left, and then I start that 70s show. And Downton Abbey. I've also been, and Silicon Valley. I started Silicon Valley with my boyfriend, and I've gotten through like the first 5 episodes. So funny. But I've been wanting to watch it for a while. But he's like, no, we're gonna watch it now. And he just really wants me to watch it. It's like, I'm like, babe, when you finally finish a show that I've recommended to you in full, then that's when I'm gonna watch Silicon Valley, because he still has not finished The Office yet. So, but at least he's on the 6th season of that. But Downton Abbey, it's good so far. It's not my absolute favorite show. It's a little bit slow, to be honest, but it is picking up, and it actually, this past episode was pretty good. So yeah, that's it. Bye.